Alright, welcome everybody. So today we are here at Himeji Castle in Himeji, Japan. And Himeji Castle, this is very clear evidence of how important historical preservation is to Japan. That is something we have to understand about Japan, is that history is very important to Japan. They preserved Himeji Castle for over 400 years. It survived natural disasters, wars, and overall modernization in Japan. It's preserved all by hand here for centuries. And we will take a tour here of Himeji Castle, and you'll see just how important history is to Japan here. All right, we're about to go into Himeji Castle here, but over here you can see behind me, that is the town of Himeji itself. That's been rebuilt many times over the centuries here, but once you cross this bridge, you're basically stepping back in time through the Otoman Gate here. This is the very same Himeji Castle. It's been standing for centuries, over 400 years. All right, we're going to cross the bridge into Japan's past here. There's the castle itself over there in the distance. And I have to re-emphasize, this castle has been preserved as it was for 400 years. It's not a replica. Everything has been preserved here. The walls, the gates, even the stone patterns, everything has been preserved as best as it could be from Japan's feudal past here. See the castle over there. And this is the Otoman Gate here that we're about to go through. It's a nice shot there of Himeji Castle, yes. That says Himeji Castle World Heritage Site, you could see. Kanji there. Alright, we'll keep making our way towards the inner part of the castle. It seems like there's some type of event happening today here at Himeji Castle. Go this way here, towards the inner part. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the castle itself here. Innermost part. The ticket gate is just ahead. Over here. The tickets are just up here. And we can get into the castle right here. Alright, we're just on the other side of the ticket gate. There's the castle again. Great view from here, looking up at it. We'll go through another gate up here. Alright, so here we are, more of the courtyards of Himeji Castle. You can see just how well preserved everything is. So it's not just frozen time, it actually feels alive here, like you really step back into the past. The walls are perfectly preserved, the trees are also very well preserved. The stone patterns, everything is in balance here. And we'll keep going on our tour here of Himeji Castle. Alright, we're continuing on our walk here. There's a small pond there. Going up towards the inner part of the castle, up there in this direction, through here. You can see they're doing some restoration work. They're always doing this, it seems. I have to say, the Japanese are the masters of historical preservation. They take it very seriously. Let's see, doing it to part of Himeji Castle here. They have to do it probably like all year round. Some parts of the castle here. See the wall patterns there, stone patterns, just how it was 400 years ago. Trees are arranged exactly as they have been for centuries. It's really amazing to think about. You see walls there, yeah? Castle walls, tall, getting taller here. Up to the main central part. There it is. Alright, main keep over that way. I think we'll go over here. We'll see the West Bailey, see what it's like. Through here. Alright, we're going to go inside the very wall itself here. One of the walls here. Actually, I got to take off my shoes here. They got shoes bags over there. Sometimes you have to do that at some tourist attractions in Japan here. So I'll take off my shoes and we'll be right in. Alright, we're going in the West Bailey here. This is inside of one of the walls, the castle walls here. And you can just feel like feudal Japan up in here. Alright, so here we are in the West Bailey. This was a defensive line here in Himeji Castle. You can see right here, that's where archers shot arrows at advancing armies through here. And this was also a residential area as well. Even the princess of Togai Ieyasu himself lived here, Senhime. And then you can see rooms, like people could live here as well. It's also a defensive place, but it's also a residential area as well. People can live in these rooms. Alright, that's the main keep in a distance from the West Bailey, and that's where we're going next here. Great view from here. Go down the path. We're getting very close now to the main keep. There it is up there. Running into a line now. Yeah, we're basically inside once we go through this gate here. The doorway will be inside the main keep. Alright, so here we are. This is the basement of the main keep. These are the pillars holding up the rest of the keep here. The foundations, as it were. Preserved as they were for centuries here. Pillars here. Alright, we're just above the basement here in the main keep of Himeji Castle. Everything feels so solid. This is all the original timber that was used to build the castle here 400 years ago. None of this was really rebuilt in concrete. Still the original timber. Last 400 years here. Which again is really amazing to think about here. The windows here. The view out to the city of Himeji from here. Yeah, see Himeji city from here. Good view. It's quite busy here today. Very busy. Many tourists here, as usual. This is a weekend. The wooden beams up there. Look at the wooden beams, yes. Ceiling there. Amazing construction here. I got more steps here, upper floor. We'll keep ascending the keep here. Alright, we're on one of the floors here. This is the East Large Pillar. This has stood since basically around 1600. It's made out of a single tree trunk. It holds up the castle here essentially. It's never been replaced. Still standing, which is quite remarkable. From around 1600 here. East Large Pillar. And also there's more levels of the castle here. Gotta go up these steps here. A bit crowded right now, but we'll make it up. Alright, we're getting ever higher here. Notice that the levels are getting smaller. That's just how the castle is structured. Here, the floors, yeah, getting smaller. We gotta go up some more steps. We'll be closer to the top now. Alright, we're at the top of the castle keep here. That is Osakabe Shrine there. That is there to protect the keep, and also those who pray at it, they get protection as well. The shrine here, very top of the keep. It's a view, though, from the top of the keep here. You can see the town of Himeji from the very top of Himeji Castle keep here. Great view. See one of the spires there. Alright, we're making our way out of the keep here at Himeji Castle. We're down at the lower levels once again. The crowds are much less down here. And we're getting close to the end here. Gotta put my shoes back on here and we'll be out of the keep here. Alright, so here we are on one of the levels just outside the main keep. There's the main keep right there. Open space here. Over here we can get a view of the city here. There's a view. Himeji here. This is the city. Alright everybody, we're going to end it here just outside the main keep at Himeji Castle here. And I hope we understood from this video that Japan is very serious about historical preservation. This is the very same structure that has been standing for 400 years. Himeji Castle, the original structure, has survived 400 years of natural disasters, war, and just the overall modernization of Japan here. But I'm going to go here, everybody. So if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have more coming from Japan. And I'll see everybody for the next time.